Now, I don't have the authority to issue a spring chill alert, but if I did, I think I would. Kind of a nasty setup over the next couple of days, and really even into next week here across the Northeast as we just see round after round of chilly air. Not so much across the South, we're kind of warm, and another chilly blast, unsettled setup across the West. A lot of weather to get into today. Let's start with our temperatures as we begin our Wednesday morning. It's going to be cold across the northern plains. We've got a fresh snowpack on the ground. Temperatures here likely in the teens and single digits with, again, that fresh snow on the ground, allowing good radiational cooling tonight. Temperatures will plummet by tomorrow morning. And then across the South, we're talking about cold temperatures too. Here across Arkansas, Texas, we're in the 30s and 40s, even into Oklahoma and Kansas, 20s and 30s. So definitely a chilly start, but as we head into the afternoon, we will warm up some. I tell you what is really interesting here, and the models are picking up on it. You probably see it too. Look at this cool air right here. That snowpack on the ground from Kansas to Nebraska, up into South Dakota, even parts of Minnesota, keeping us cold, almost that refrigerator effect, if you will, with that snow on the ground. And another cold night up here too, teens again, a little bit milder, I guess, to the south, so we won't be as cold. And then as we move into Thursday, we all start to warm up pretty nicely, except up here where the snow is still on the ground. Look at that, 30s and 20s still here, but we're pushing 50s and 60s all the way north into parts of Montana, and it gets mild too across Texas where we're back in the 70s. And it gets even warmer here as we head into Friday, so now we're looking at temperatures pushing 80 here across Texas. We may hit 90 in West Texas, and we've got a slew of 60s and 70s now spreading across the South as we move toward Friday. Staying chilly across the north, we've got 20s and 30s here. Highs could only get maybe into the 40s in a few spots, and then look, another shot of cool air, and look at the temperature difference here setting up across the central United States. Really two worlds here, even as we head into Sunday. 80s, 90s across Texas, mid 70s here from Oklahoma over to Tennessee and Kentucky. Once you head north of Illinois and Indiana, really those two states are the dividing line. But look at this, you may be down in Evansville pushing 70, go up to Chicago, and we're going to be stuck in the 30s. And the same could be said for Michigan as that cool air sticks around. Looking to the east, we're going to turn cool here too. I don't want to say cold because, I mean, it's late March. It's been much colder clearly in winter, but this is misery cold, if you will. Look at this as we head into Thursday. Still chilly across the Northeast. We're talking about highs in the 50s in New Jersey up to New York City, 40s and 50s in southern New England, and we're probably only going to be in the 30s into parts of Michigan. And look, another reinforcing shot of some coolish air, and that dividing line clearly being established across the east too. Miserable 40s and 50s for the Northeast, while your friends across Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and again south of these areas, 60s and 70s. That reinforcing shot of cool air sticks around at least through Sunday, and you know it's not going to get much warmer even on Sunday. Now in the Piedmont of North Carolina, I think we're going to get close to 80 here, while places like New York, I'm sorry if you're on the Jersey Shore, if you're anywhere in eastern Pennsylvania, you're probably going to be stuck in the 40s and 50s as that area of low pressure that we're going to look at in just a moment moves by just to your north, and that could bring some snow into parts of northern New England, even parts of Maine. And just look at this warm air. It's almost like it's teasing you here just to your south. It's just not going to make it north. In fact, by the time we start to push that warm air to the north sometime next Tuesday and Wednesday, look what we have here. Another cold front moving through, pushing our temperatures back below average. Now let's break down the precipitation over the next couple of days. We're going to start with the rain in the east, our front here pushing eastward. It's going to really stall out here right near the coast. That will keep the rain chances up, I think, at least through Thursday from Florida all the way to Maine, right along the coast, the I-95 corridor. Once you get inland, we do start to see some drying, but it's going to be slow to do so. The snow finally starting to wrap up here sometime early Thursday morning. And look at this system moving into the west now. That's going to bring a round of heavy rain and snow here. It could be heavy at times, especially into the mountains, and the snow will start to add up into the Cascades, into the Wasatch, into the Rockies too, as we move into early Friday morning. Low pressure looks like it's going to be just offshore. That may keep us reasonably dry, I think, for places like New York City, southern New England. You know, the last couple of days, the models have went back and forth with snow. They're starting to show some agreement here in the last couple of runs with that snow being primarily confined to down east Maine and northern parts of Maine. Switching sources and looking at the GFS, a similar picture here. There's your front getting hung up, and there's low pressure developing just off the coast. And look, even the GFS now agreeing with the European, pushing things a little bit further to the east. I said yesterday, as we get toward really Wednesday, that would be really the time to refine this forecast, and we're starting to see that refinement as we're seeing the two big global models agree on a track for this low, keeping most of the rain off the coast with the snow confined here to northern New England. Either way, it's going to be chilly here, and we're going to stay chilly across the west, at least seasonably chilly, with rain and snow showers here with another system digging in. Here will be interesting to watch as we move toward the first of next week. That's going to bring rain and snow as far south as Southern California, Arizona, and then it's going to kick out into the Central Plains states sometime, well, around Tuesday of next week. So almost this time next week, we're going to look at this system moving into the Plains states. Could this be a snowmaker for the Great Lakes? Maybe in this area. I don't know yet. Again, that's too early to call, and this could bring another round of some wintry weather to the Northeast. It's still too early to make that call, but I feel confident that we stay chilly here just because of this northwest flow that looks like it's going to persist with this system after system just moving through the region. Certainly not above normal, at least in the medium range that I can see. And then looking even down the road, long range, this is a stormy pattern that looks like it's just setting up to stick around for a while. And again, cool temperatures too. We also have some snow across the west that's moving in now. That snow will really pile up into the Sierra. Some places could see 2 to 3 feet as we move through the weekend. Now we'll get one round this week. In fact, I'll back it up and show you what we're going to see through Thursday and Friday. And then look, boom, we add more on top of that through the weekend. So quite a bit of snow ahead here. Now, there is going to be some severe weather as we head into tomorrow, not just across Texas, but across the southeast. We had it here today. Tomorrow, we're really watching this area for thunderstorms. We're timing it out into the morning hours across North Florida and Georgia, and then really across Florida into parts of Georgia, South Carolina. We'll have to watch this area for some very heavy downpours heading into tomorrow and into Thursday too. And then you can see the NAM model, a little bit different here, keeping that rain a little bit closer to the coast on Thursday, but and it could be miserable too with cool conditions and damp and just all around gross. And a look at some of the snow across Maine. You can see some places could get more than 2 inches. And, I think this may actually be underdone. But yesterday we were kind of looking here that there could be some snow. You can see the models now really pushing everything to the north and east as we get some agreement here between the models. Finally, I'm not going to give you an eclipse forecast, honestly, until we're a few days out because there's no need to give you false hope this far out. I do want to show you the trend, and it is stormy. That's not a good sign if you want to catch the eclipse because while I think it's going to be difficult to time any of these systems out, here we are Monday afternoon, the 8th around 2 p.m. I mean, look at this. This is a huge storm that's going here. I mean, this is the GFS though, right? It's laughable at 318 hours out, but this shows the Midwest and the Northeast probably socked in with clouds with clear skies back here. I do want to take you back 6 hours ago and look, oh, it looks drastically different. Let's go 6 hours before that. I bet it looks different. Boy, it sure does. So you can see inconsistencies this far out. If anyone's telling you a forecast for what's going to be happening on the day of the eclipse, no way. We are way too far out for that. So we have a long way to go. If you like this kind of content, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel. It really does help it out. I appreciate everyone who has done so. Now, I did do a long range forecast. Again, I'm not going to pinpoint any types of storms. If you'd like to check that out for the month of April, it's right here behind my head. I'll see you in that video coming up next.